Hold up. I have it playing somewhere else, so I don't know where it is. Hold up. I don't want to double echo myself. Okay. So I think we're good here. Sorry, everyone. Welcome to Dbacks Dispatch. We got another post-game reaction. We'll get into the game later. But just want to say, everyone, welcome to Dbacks Dispatch. If this is the first time on your channel, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss any of our future content. We discussed the Arizona Diamondbacks, who had a game tonight. If you want to call it a game, it was very, very one-sided. So it was definitely very entertaining. But before we get into the game, we're going to go ahead here and just talk about some news with the Arizona Diamondbacks today. They made some roster moves. They designated for assignment Jace Peterson, and we were all celebrating. Everyone got so excited until they saw who was coming in his stead. They recalled Pavin Smith. So we go from one guy a majority of the fan base hates to another. And unfortunately, Ryan Nelson is going on the 15-day IL with a right elbow contusion. But they also did bring up Jordan Montgomery, who made his D-backs debut tonight. Wow. It was simply amazing, but we'll get into that. But first, I want to ask Gabe, your thoughts on the D-backs finally partying with Jace Peterson.
Yeah, I guess I should just say, I don't hate Jace. I never actually hated him. He's a professional baseball player. He's been in the league for a long time. He's a veteran. Everything I've ever heard from him is that he's, always been a great leader, a great veteran. But man, since he's come to the D-backs, he really has not been it at all here. I think his batting is something like 125 since coming over from the Athletics. And it's unfortunate. I know that he ended up getting a shoulder surgery in the offseason. And if you know anything about shoulder surgery, especially when it comes to baseball, it really does affect your swing. It is something that's hard to come back from. Look at Cody Bellinger or Jake Lamb. It's not an injury that's easy to get over. So it's unfortunate, but the guy is batting 140 or no 140.040. He's not been it for a while. And as we saw today, Blaze is the shortstop other than Perdomo. And right now, since we don't have Perdomo, Blaze should either be there every day or he should be the designated hitter. He needs his at-bats. We can't keep Jace up here that long, especially because I think yesterday, I know we're all confused as to why Jace was starting, but I do think it was one of those things where Hazen probably told Velo, put him out there, see what he has, and he showed that he has nothing. He went over 4, and seeing how Blaze played today probably cost us the game with the way he went out there. He's negative 5.6 WAR, and the season just started. I hate to see him, EDF fade like this and see him go out like this, but it had to happen, unfortunately.
Yeah. I don't hate him as a person. I felt like he was not one of the 26 best players in our organization. He was taking up a spot for someone that could help the team. I wouldn't have mind if he would have just been on the roster and kind of been maybe get a pinch hit here once a week or something, or he's a good guy to have in the clubhouse for leadership, but he was starting 3 times a week. And to me, that's basically handicapping you, because it says instead of having 27 outs to play with, you have 24. You have 23 outs. Really, you don't get the full 27 outs to potentially win the game. So hopefully he does. I think he'll land somewhere, because I think he's still a good baseball player. I just don't. He's just on a team that's trying to get back to the World Series.
It's kind of like a major
like,
leaguer. He's a good enough baseball player to be a major leaguer on some team, just not the 2024 Arizona Dbacks.
Yeah. So hopefully he lands on his feet there. We got Pavin Smith. I don't hate Pavin as much as I did not like Jace. Like, let me rephrase that. I don't hate them. Hate is not the right word. I'm just I get very displeased when we see, like, had we not set this expectation of the team is trying to actually win games, like, had we had like a bunch of young guys and we didn't do anything, I would have been fine with it. But all 162 games matter. And you can't just like say, oh, it's just one game. It's just a couple at bats. In September, though, that could mean the difference between a wild card or a not wild card, or even winning the division or not winning the division. So yeah, just. But hey, at least with Pavin, he occasionally can run into a home run because he does have some power. So that's the nice thing about Pavin. Is I think he's a better baseball player than Jace, so that's good. Like, I don't think he's an automatic out when he's in, but just like I said, he is mid at everything that he does, which is fine.
Yeah.
Like, but
yeah, I mean, he walks. He does. That's something he does do well. He does walk a lot,
yes.
and he can always cover first base. Like Walker, I mean, he did a lot better today, but he's been struggling a little bit. So if he needs his day off his feet, put Pavin there. Shouldn't be any real issue. At first, he's not bad at first. Obviously, he's not Walker, but I'm fine with calling Pavin up. I mean, at this point, I mean, who else do you really call up? I mean, Pavin has experience in the big leagues. I mean, even though today he did pop up against a guy throwing 44 miles an hour, but
hey, that's hard to hit. Like, when you've been seeing guys all night actually, I think this was his first at bat, but still, like, when you're used to seeing guys throwing 80, 90, and then you see a guy with 40, it just throws off your timing. Like you don't prepare for that. So let's go ahead and just kind of transition here to the actual game. Jordan Montgomery makes his Diamondback debut. He goes 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run. Now, he only had 3 strikeouts, but that's fine. Like, he's not a big strikeout guy. But the thing that stood out to me, and I want to shout out Jesse Freeman, PHNX, as he did tweet this out. 8 batters, he retired on 2 or fewer pitches. That is phenomenal. Like, that's why he only had to go 78 pitches through 6, and he threw 54 strikes. He looked like he had been with Gabby all season. This was their first start together. Now, they may have had a couple of bullpen sessions over the last week, maybe one, but it looked like they have been doing this all off season. Like, they were on the same page the entire game. If this is his first start, that was phenomenal. It's a quality start too. Your first start is just insane. He gets a quality start. That is phenomenal. But Gabe, what are your thoughts on Jordan Montgomery's first start?
Yeah, it's kind of what I expected. I honestly was wondering if they're going to have him some sort of a pitch count, especially because it's just first game back. But I know that when he was ramping up before the season even started, they did say he was around 75 pitches. So I wasn't expecting an actual limit, but I was expecting 85 or something like that. But it seems like Lavelle let him go, and he seems like he even asked him if he wanted to keep going. But once the lead went up all the way to like 9 runs or whatever it was, they're kind of just like, whatever, just sit down, just enjoy this night or whatever. But he looked really good. I mean, the 3 strikeouts, that's who he is. Jordan Montgomery is a guy who's going to work quick and he's going to get outs right away. And something that we talked about during the when they signed him in that pod, we said this is who he is. His ERA went down almost like a full run once he went to the Rangers because of their defense. And I know the D-backs defense has been struggling a bit, but with Montgomery, it's not going to be tricky plays. It's going to be a lot of ground balls to third baseman, second and shortstop. So he made it really easy on the guys today, and he gave them a chance to win, which is what we wanted out of him. And going six innings, 1 run, which was a bomb by Soler, but that's who Soler is. So you can only keep him down for so long. So, but I mean, that was really the only damage, and the fact that he was able to work out of certain jams. He had a couple times where he had a guy on third with either 1 out or no outs, and then second to. I mean, that's especially from what we've seen from Tommy Henry and stuff. Like, it's a huge refresher because Montgomery's an ace. We have 3 aces on the staff, and just the fact that these 3 guys can go out there, pitch themselves out of jams, not have to be taken out, not have to be talked to. Because I don't think Brent Strom even went to go talk to him once. So
I think we had a mound visit, yeah.
Yeah, so there's really no issue with him at all today. He just kind of just blew through the lineup, and then you looked up, suddenly it was 6 innings later, and he had 1 run. So, but he looked amazing today. Hopefully, this is what we see out of him throughout the season. Yeah.
Brett, floor is yours for Jamont.
I mean, you guys pretty much covered, everything about it. He was just something we don't really see from, especially, Tommy Henry. He was just efficient, like that tweet that Jesse put out with the 8 batters retired with 2 pitches or less. At least according to Baseball Savant, it looks like his his Reno worries of the sinker not being at the velocity that it was last year. I believe like 93, 94. Touched 93.2 tonight, which is good because I believe he was keeping it down to like 90, 91 in Reno. So it doesn't seem like there's any issues there. Got 3 whiffs on that, 1 on the curve, 4 on the change. Bunch of swings on the sinker and the changeup. I think the hardest hit he had, his sinker was hit, I think, by Soler 108. I didn't remember the exact pitch he threw to him. But I'm going to take a random guess that Soler is the one that hit his sinker 108. But it was solid. He outpitched his former agent or co-agents, whatever it would be called. But he showed that he can outdo Blake Snell. Like you said, he is basically an ace. Diamondbacks have 3 of them, which is efficient. It's something that we were desperately needing, considering the bullpen, everything, just needing a quality start. Like after last night, I know Logan Allen ate a couple innings and did a really good job of keeping the bullpen from being, really far behind going into the rest of the 4-game series. But Jamon did a fantastic job tonight, especially just keeping them like clean, efficient innings. I think he stranded the leadoff double there from Matt Chapman, which was very huge. To keep the momentum in their favor, especially because you know how momentum can be in games. If that run scores, there's a good chance maybe the Diamondbacks, kind of get, more pressure on them, especially knowing at the time 28 straight innings of not scoring a single run. I
love how you put that in a group chat and then the floodgates opened, y'all.
Yeah, that's why I was like, we're close to 28, and then very next inning was when we started actually, score and do stuff. So it's just nice to see them kind of, hopefully break out of their slump. We saw this against the Cardinals. They scored a bunch of runs. The next day kind of didn't. Or against the Cubs, they scored a bunch of runs. The next day, they did not score that many at all. So hopefully we don't see that trend. But it was good to see from Jamon, man. He was stellar, especially the efficiency. I think he would have gone more if the offense didn't explode, because Lovella was like, what's the point of like leaving you out there, let you end on a positive note? We have plenty of, pen arms we can use in a blowout situation. But it was just a great debut for Jamon.
Yeah. So the home run was on a sinker. And it wasn't a bad pitch. Like, it was like maybe 3 or 4 inches from the bottom of the zone, just Soler has insane strength and power. So, yeah, Oscar brings up a solid point, and they commented 2 of their 4 hits. I mean, he's looking really good.
Good for him, man. That's all I gotta say. It's just good for him.
Yeah. So try to find where to go next. Like, Ketel Marte is just insane. He was 4 for 6 tonight. He started 4 for 4. I really wanted to see him have a 5-hit game. I think that would have been really, really great to see. So his exit velo on all 4 of his hits. I'm not sure if this is the order, but this is the top 4. 111, 109, 109, 108.
He is 4 of the top 5, just so you know. It's Ketel, Walker, Ketel.
Yeah. It like Ketel is like, if he doesn't win NL Player of the Week, there's something wrong. Like, what he's done in his like last 10 at bats is absolutely ridiculous. Like, what was that? That would have been Tuesday when he hit the home run to tie it late, and then Wednesday leads off with a homer. Now he didn't look great yesterday, but nobody on the D-backs looked great yesterday. But he is clicking right. Like, he's been on fire since the playoffs started last year. Like, I would have to go back and look. Like, what is his average since the start of postseason? Like, it is no doubt it's got to be 320, 330.
I can actually find that out for you, while our man Gabe. I believe.
Gabe, so you predicted it on this pod during the offseason. That Snell wasn't going to do great. So the floor is yours, sir.
Yeah. I want to talk about Blake Snell really quick, because there's 2 things that I know in this world. It's baseball and chicks. No, but seriously, like, when it comes to Blake Snell, he is a very on and off type of guy. He struggles a lot. Most of his time in the big leagues, I think it was 9 years. I think it was. He's had 2 good years, and then the rest of the time, he's around 4.5 ERA. And for this year, this is what I thought he would be at. He's a lot worse than he normally would be. He has an 11.5 ERA right now, and they just like teed off of him. He just not getting swing and miss. And last year, he walked either 99 guys or 100 guys. Like, I think he just got lucky with the fact that he got a lot of luck to a certain extent. I mean, he's working himself out of jams, but you can only do that for so long until you get bit. And it seems like finally this year he's getting bit on those walks. And it's not like he gave up a ton of walks today, but they're just making really good contact off of him. But yeah, I mean, 11.5 ERA, they're paying this man $37 million a year. He's robbing them blind, which, I mean, good for us. But he is who I thought he was. But I will say, at some point during the season, he probably is going to figure things out, and then he's going to start dominating. So there's probably going to be a point where we're going to look up at the scoreboard, and he's going to have 20 innings of without allowing a run and stuff. So luckily we got him early enough in the season where since he's been struggling, and he didn't really want to do the rehab starts that Jamon did. So he's figuring it out as he goes along during the season. And I know, I'm saying it right now, what was today? 419, almost 420 Blaze It Alexander. He is going to end up with the 4.5 ERA.
Sounds about right. 4.5. Because I think, like you said, he doesn't have 2 straight good years. He'll have 1 good year and then 1 subpar year. He won the Cy Young last year, so history shows that he's.
You out a little bit, Gabe? Huh?
Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah, Oscar's saying that I wanted Blake Snell. I did not want Blake Snell. I wanted Montgomery. I think that's who I wanted. I didn't want Blake Snell. Why would I want Blake Snell? I knew it was going to be bad this year. I mean, he might be good next year, which, I mean, he's probably going to have a 2.5 ERA next year, but not this year.
So, speaking of Blaze Alexander had himself a freaking day, y'all. goes 3 for 5, 2 doubles, and hold up, where is it? And an opposite field grand slam here in the 8th. Like, he is. The fact that Jace was starting in place of this man is so disrespectful. Like, Tori, I think you're a great manager, but the fact that you're too loyal, which is a good thing and a bad thing. Like, you don't give up on guys when most people would, but because of that, you put too much trust in a couple. Just too much trust. So, Gabe, your thoughts on Blaze's outing today?
I mean, this guy is hitting. He has 1,000 OPS. Like, this guy is killing the ball. And it's not like we can say it's a very small sample size because he's at almost about 50 plate appearances, which he's still working through some issues. But man, he has a 400 on base. He's killing the ball left and right. Like, he's hitting home runs. I mean, that ball was smashed. I mean, that thing would have been like, what is it? The Four Peaks Brewery at Chase Field, probably. Like, this guy has been amazing since he came up. He's giving some of these other Rookie of the Years or Rookie of the Year candidates a run for their money, and I think like he's been able to adjust. He had maybe a couple, like he's had days or even I would say specifically days, not weeks, where he's not looked as good. But then he just comes back. He seems to adjust really well and really quickly. And I think, at the end of the year, we're going to be looking at another Rookie of the Year win from Blaze.
Yeah. To be honest, maybe he should just play DH because I think a lot of his struggles have been playing defense. Or maybe have him at problem is that's Catel's spot, second base, unless they have Cattell DH. But no,
I think if he has about 100 games, anywhere to 80 to 100 games, at short, he should be fine. Especially, I mean, as a DH, I know DHs don't really win Rookie of the Years, but with the way he's batting right now, he has a 340, 350 average with 1,000 OPS. If he's anywhere near that, 300 with a 900 OPS, he's going to win the Rookie of the Year. I don't see who else would take it at this point. Maybe what's his face in San Diego or one of the pitchers, but I mean Yamamoto has been complete garbage. So we'll see.
340 with a OBP of 404 with an OPS at exactly 1,000.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, he's been adjusting really well when they seem to adjust to him. So especially not having Jace out there replacing him every other day. He's going to get more at bats. He's going to be able to see the ball better. He has not looked overmatched at all. And he's been facing really good pitchers too. So it's not like he's facing scrubs. And at no point during the season have I seen him taking that bat where I'm like, oh, this guy's just like swinging at nothing out there or at Tic Tacs.
Brett, you are muted.
Sorry about that. Trying to make sure whenever I tap on my keyboard, I don't have feedback into the mic. Sorry about. But yeah, he has a 1021 OPS right now, 609 slugging, 412 on base. Like he's just doing everything at the plate that you want. Like Gabe was touching on with his at bats. They're just genuinely good at bats. It's not like he's facing like there was in tonight's 8th inning or 9th inning when the Giants brought in their center fielder to pitch and he was throwing slow pitch softballs. He wasn't facing pitchers like that and hasn't really been facing pitchers like that all year. He's been facing some pretty tough competition, and he's been owning up to it. Like obviously we've touched on it before. Everyone's seen it and knows he's had his mistakes in the field. I feel like he's definitely worked through them. I'm pretty confident in saying that they were just like, or they're not the yips. They were just genuine early season young rookie just struggles. Didn't let it affect anything at the plate, which is like really key to look for and hope to see out of a young player like that, because you never know how they're going to adjust to the mental side of the Major League Baseball and all that. So it was good to see him not let it affect and just keep on grinding. at the plate and still get better at the field. And it's shown there's a good reason why Jace was let go. Like if Blaze wasn't hitting the way he was doing and genuinely forcing their hand, like that's why we were talking about it before. I was a little surprised originally that Colton Wong wasn't called up over Pavin Smith just because of the middle infield utility. He basically would fill Jace's spot, but I'm going to take it as a sign of them going, we don't need him. Like we have Blaze. Like Blaze genuinely earned this time. Like there's no reason why, like Brandon was saying earlier, there's no reason why he shouldn't get regular playing time and why he shouldn't be hitting as much as possible.
Yeah, like at this point, I think he should be, until Domo comes back, he needs to be in the lineup, whether that's at shortstop or if they're facing a lefty as a DH. Because he is playing too well offensively right now for them to take his bat out of the lineup, which is what you want these players to do, is you want a manager to force, like, I can't sit this kid. Because I actually just saw the tweet. Theo Mackey, shout out Theo Mackey.
I think it's Teo, by the way.
Oh, my bad. Teo.
No, I found it out a while ago. I've always pronounced it Theo, but I remember on the PHNX podcast they're talking about it, and they're very clear that they're like it's Teo, and I think he's said it so many times where even they are now doing it for him. It's like, hey, like it's Teo. Don't let him.
Teo.
I have to explain it to you so much, but yeah. Trust me, I
didn't
know like a month ago.
When Blaze Alexander starts, D-backs are averaging 7 runs a game, 3.6 when he doesn't. Now, I know it's somewhat still small sample size, like 20 games, but that's a massive, massive difference of what this team does when he's in the lineup. So now that Jace isn't there, I really feel like he's gonna maybe give him a day off like once a week, just so that you don't burn him out too much. Because Domo's probably at least 2 or 3 weeks away, maybe more.
He's guaranteed to get a day off at least once a week.
Yeah, which I'm fine with.
Oh yeah, 100%. But that's what I'm saying. Like at least we don't have to really worry about that. He's not going to be starting every day, but he should be getting at least more playing time.
And with Kevin Newman looking decent, and Jock, taking the DH spots against certain righties, like it should be fine. Like I would hope that Blaze gets around 400 ABs during this season. So if he's around that area, 400 ABs, I think he should be good to go. I mean, if he gets more, that's great, but I would want him around 400 and not less than that.
So, yeah, if I know it's early, and I know it's like Blaze Alexander for NL Rookie of the Year. Let's just pump our brakes a little bit. It's a long season.
Full send. I'm with Gabe. Full send it. Fuck it.
Yeah, I know you guys
the bandwagon.
are.
Let's go.
I know I know you love the Padres, and you love what's his face.
It's people wanted to give it to Ellie last year because he had a really hot.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely we can definitely be hyped for him. Yeah. I mean,
I first of all,
fully serious.
I'm not saying that he doesn't like. If they gave the award today, it belongs to Blaze, without a doubt. But these awards are not given in April; they're given in September. So. I love his shoes, by the way. And I love how in MLB The Show, they made sure to give him his creamsicle cleats.
I agree. So something that I don't know if I saw it in like a Discord or online somewhere. I'm not if it's 100%.
Look at Guriel. He's so hyped.
I love it. This team is just so connected with each other. I love it. But
connected team is a dangerous team.
If it's fully true, was that the first ever right-handed hitter to hit a grand slam over the wall? That way, like opposite field. Because again, I heard somewhere like maybe somebody mentioned it as like they were asking the same question. I'm not sure. If so, that would be a kind of a cool little stat, especially as a rookie. Like that'd be a little interesting nugget.
Yeah, I want to give a quick shout out to the Apple TV. Like in terms of the camera work, it's so freaking good, but they're broadcasters, and then when they just randomly will look at a fan for like 30 seconds and make us miss, half the actual like bat or whatever, which is a little frustrating. But their camera work is really really nice. So I'm glad they got it for Blaze's first Grand Slam. I mean, he has 3 home runs. He's on his way to around 25 for the season. He's just really really locked in, and hopefully he stays locked in throughout the season. Especially once Perdomo comes back. I mean, I would love to see them share the shortstop position or DH or whatever.
Yeah, I think Blaze is taking this opportunity that he's been given with Jordan Lawler out, because if Jordan Lawler was healthy, they would have brought him up when Domo got hurt, and I think they would have given more at bats to Lawler. But Blaze is taking this opportunity by the reins, and he's running with it. Like, he's doing everything that he can to keep his way on this roster. Yeah, I did this. Yes, the broadcast, it looks great. The graphics are great, but the broadcasters, do your research. They didn't even know that Snell faced Tampa Bay last year. They're like, oh, because his last start was against the Rays in San Francisco. And they're like, oh, this is the first time he's faced his former team. No, it's not. He faced them in San Diego last year. So please do your research. Like, that's the one thing that bothers me so much about these local broadcasts. No, it's the national ones that don't, because they are relying on their researchers, and a lot of them don't. So, but no, all aboard.
Josh informed me that that is not the first opposite field homer over the fence. He said that there's 24 Oppa home runs into McCovey Cove since 2015.
I think we're looking for Grand Slams.
Yeah. I think you said Grand Slam. Like, I know that a righty's hit a home run there. I just don't know about a Grand Slam. Like that seems, yeah. Ryan, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, snakes are alive. Giants got bit pretty hard tonight. So, was really great to see. I still have not been able to find anyone that can confirm. What is the D-backs record for hits in a game? Is it 21 or 22? Before tonight. Like, I know the broadcast said 22 is the record. The official MLB Twitter says they tied the record, but the D-backs website says 21 was the prior record. And the thing is, the D-backs official Twitter hasn't said anything about it yet either. So I'm wondering if they're researching it to double check.
Shit, we got to make sure we're correct.
I think it's because one of those was the playoffs, right? I think when they game 2 or whatever it was. I think that's one of the ones that they're counting or not counting or something like that. So I think that's one of the things that's muddling it a little bit.
Yeah, because originally I thought it was the record that we heard on the broadcast. But then I saw, God, what's his name? Hold up. I saw Dalton Feely tweet out D-backs set record. I'm like, wait, what? And then I looked it up, and yeah, the D-backs, what the D-backs site says 21 was the prior record. According to the Dbacks.com single game records, if you go to hits, most hits, D-backs 21. The last time was in 2014 at the Colorado Rockies. So unless their website's wrong, I don't know. Again, so our producer Josh is saying StatMuse. I personally wouldn't go on StatMuse. I would go based on the D-backs website. So again, I don't know. So we'll see. Like,
Yeah, either way, I mean, 22 hits. Was it
I mean, it's
17
still.
runs? It's not what I
Either
expected
way.
at all. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I was expecting 5 or 6 runs or something like that today. Like, I was not expecting this barrage to. Um, Nice to see Carroll getting some hits. Nice to see. I mean, obviously, you could tell just dominating. I mean, he's been on one recently. I mean, for the last month or whatever. I mean, he's had over 80 at bats and he's hitting 340 something still. Like, it's crazy. But I mean, the bullpen too. I mean, they pitched 3 innings,
Oh,
shut them down.
so interesting. That game was an 18-inning game.
Oh,
So this might be the record for a
Mickey
9.
Mouse hit record.
I knew, like, I thought it was weird, and then I go and find the box score, and it goes a run scored in the 18th. Then I'm like, that doesn't count. Like, yes, it counts, but yeah, I still like. So yeah, they set a new record for a 9-inning game for most hits in a game. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay,
that makes sense.
so what in 2001?
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Obviously,
Larry
that's going to
Johnson
be
pitched the game.
the playoff record. So, so yeah, it's a really insane game. And you know what's going to happen the next 2 games of the series, right? They're going to get like 8 total hits and like score like 4 runs.
Yeah, I wanted to bring that up real quick. I think the D-backs are like plus 30. They lead the actual division. They're only a game and a half behind the Dodgers. The Dodgers are scuffling right now. So like I said, I know it's early, but these are the games that you want to win. You want to win against divisional opponents if you can win the series against them, especially because at some point during the season, the Giants
They're
are
in
going to
third
catch fire.
place.
Yeah, they're in third place. Giants are going to catch fire. Padres are going to catch fire. Dodgers are going to catch fire. If you're able to beat these teams, win their season series, because they don't do like the one game anymore, as far as I'm aware of. So they have to win the season series against these teams, and try to rack up as much of the run differential and everything. But they look good. I mean, it's frustrating with the way they've been lost recently. They should be in first place, especially with the way the Dodgers are
Yeah.
playing. Unfortunately, not the way baseball works. So hopefully they're able to take away these 2, especially with Gallen starting tomorrow and then Merrill Kelly starting on Sunday. Hopefully he can do damage against these other guys and then take the series home, or not home, but take the series, go to St. Louis, take the series there, go to Seattle, and then I just want to see a positive month, especially with the way they've started. Like with so many guys out, because Perdomo, Alec. I mean, today we saw what this team would look like to a certain extent when they're healthy, and it's an exciting team. So hopefully we're able to get all these guys back in time. I know Alec, I think the guy that you mentioned, was his name T.O. I think he mentioned that he was running second base and like running around the second base and everything. So hopefully Alex should be back soon. So get this team at full strength, see who they are. Hopefully they can rattle off a whole bunch of wins and series wins.
So a couple of interesting stats here. Their run differential, plus 30. That's 4th in Major League Baseball, by the way. 2nd in the National League. Both Cleveland and Kansas City are at plus 45. That, to me, is absolutely outrageous.
Cleveland
But
being there, Cleveland's not known for being like an offensive.
No.
Like,
that's what I don't
crazy.
like. And Cleveland is 14-6. Like, they're 14. Like, Cleveland, again, I haven't looked at who they've played, so I don't know if it's been a cookie cutter schedule. But after the night, we are first in total runs at 123.
So 2 things. One, just because you brought up, the teams in scoring with Cleveland, they have the number 1 pick, and the dude from Florida, Caglianone, whatever the hell his name is, that is just absolutely mashing baseballs. he's going to be added to the lineup. So that's a fun little, thing to know if you're a Guardians fan. So good for them. But a good thing for us, like just even kicking in, is the way things lined up with, Monty coming back. Like now that it's going to be Montgomery, Gallen, Kelly, and then hopefully Erod going in. Like, dude, that's hot. That is delicious.
Pardon my language, but I'm all bricked up.
We can build a whole village out here. We can have a whole 3-story house built up over here between the three of us, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, like, and I was watching something, and they said like half of our runs have come in 3 games. This one, Chicago, and then the opening day versus the Rockies. Like, if you add up those 3, that's almost half our runs. That's just insane, y'all. It's just when.
That's why for years I've always kind of, even last year going into the season, or going into the playoffs, when people were always talking about like, oh, the D-backs, their run differential, it's so bad. Like they like don't deserve to make the playoffs. I'm like, dude, run differential, I get it. To me, that's one of the most goddamn overrated stats ever. I'm sorry. Like
that is like cherry picking stats.
A night like tonight is a fantastic point. Like once they were up 7-1, like even 9-1, like the game was basically over. They put up another 9 runs to where at the end of the season, people can use it as they were 120 runs or plus 120 in the run differential, and they had this record. Wow, that sucks. It's like, yes, like stop using. It's like you said, the most cherry picked stat ever.
Yeah, it's so bad. It is so bad. But I think this offense is going to do this a lot this year. Is they're going to struggle for like 3 or 4 games, and then everyone's going to be like, oh, this team is awful. This team sucks. And then we'll see nights like this where everyone's like, woohoo, Dbacks are going to World Series. Dbacks are winning. I was like, y'all need to like either stick on the wagon and stay there regardless of what happens, or just completely jump off. Like, stop jumping on and off when it's convenient for you. Josh! Yeah, you're going to have to pick another one. Or you should have told us before you posted it in there. So, unless Gabe saw it, because I saw it. So,
I did not see it. So you can have it between me and... Oh, you did? Okay, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I clicked out of it just in time, just to the regular comments.
So, no, that's fine. We can do it another time. Unless you have another piece of trivia that you can pull really quickly.
We can at least say that one. That one's good to know. Blaze isn't the only one.
Nah. Yeah, Josh, it's fine. We don't need to do trivia.
Yeah, no, I was honestly just kind of like messing around, like, oh.
So, but no, it's so great that Jordan Montgomery absolutely looked spectacular tonight. Everyone got worried after his last start because he didn't look good. But it could have been those things where he was working on a certain pitch and he just kept throwing it regardless. Could also been playing down to his competition. But we saw the way he looked tonight. If we get that, and then we get what we've seen with Kelly and Gallen so far, watch out. Watch out, everyone. It's going to be a very exciting season here for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Gabe, any parting thoughts for tonight's reaction?
Yeah, I'm excited for what they did today. All around, like the pitching, not just Montgomery, but the bullpen, the offense exploded. Hopefully, it can carry a little bit until tomorrow. I'm not expecting obviously 17, but score a little bit more. Have Gallen come out, pitch. This is what the guys talk about when they see performances like this. Pitchers always say that like they see a guy do something like what Montgomery did, and they'll say, "I'll do one better." So. Gallen, calling you out. Do one better. Kelly, I'm calling you out too. Do one better. So I'm excited for the rest of the series. It was nice after yesterday just depressing game. And we got rid of Chase, so good news.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Blake. Sorry,
What?
Brett.
I was like, who's Blake?
Yeah, sorry.
Very good. I mean, kind of like Gabe said, it would be really nice to see Merrill and Zach both kind of, show up tomorrow and not try to one up in better than you, but be like, okay, cool, you want to go 6 innings? Zach's like, I'll go 7, and then next day Merrill's like, okay, you want to go 7? I'll go 8. Offense. Maybe tomorrow the offense is like, oh, you want to see us put up 17? I'll put up 18. I just want to see them continue at least some kind of offense tomorrow. Like we brought up twice tonight. Don't want to see the usual. They put up a bunch of runs and then tomorrow they come out kind of flat. I know it's a new day. It's a new pitcher. It's baseball. Anything can change from a day-to-day basis. But I want to see them use this to, get a fire under them, get some consistency, and just continue, like you said, continue on hot streak against these divisional opponents. Try to get a nice little lead on them early, with the Dodgers only being 2 games over 500, us being a game and a half in third. It's definitely a way to stay at least as up to pace as we possibly can.
Yeah. So I hope that they gain the confidence from tonight's game and kind of take that and kind of move forward with it for the next couple of weeks. Corbin got a hit today, so that's good, but I still feel like he's struggling just a little bit. But that's fine. Blaze is doing his thing. Walker looked pretty good, so very excited for tomorrow. It happens all the time. We'll see them have these games where they blow out with like hits and runs, and then they don't show up the next day or 2 or 3. Do appreciate everyone here for stopping by. We appreciate it very much. If this is your first time, make sure to go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our future videos. We do series recaps. So until next time, we'll see y'all later.